It never begins with a kiss. It begins with a lie, small enough to sound harmless, soft enough to slip under your radar. A lie she tells with steady eyes and a calm voice, the kind that makes you feel crazy for even questioning it. By the time you sense something's off, it's already in motion. Her mind is drifting, her heart is wandering, and the version of her you think you know, she's already rewriting it. Most men miss this stage because nothing looks wrong yet. No fights, no scandals, no dramatic exits. But this is when betrayal truly begins. 4 lies, always the same, always disguised as kindness, exhaustion, or honesty. And if you learn to hear them early, you'll never be blindsided again. If you value truth over comfortable lies, hit that like and hype buttons immediately. Subscribe to this channel and tell me in the comments what city you're watching from. I want to know where my strongest, most aware men are tuning in tonight. Most men think cheating starts in a bedroom. It doesn't. It starts long before that. In the quiet space between what she says and what she means. These 4 lies are the earliest warnings you'll ever get, and almost every man ignores them. But once you know how to spot them, you'll never mistake silence for safety again. Lie 1. I just need space. She says it like it's nothing. I just need space. A simple sentence, gentle on the surface, and most men hear it and nod. Of course, you think, she's stressed. She needs time to think. She needs to focus on herself. But this is not about needing space. This is about creating distance, emotional distance, psychological distance. The kind of distance that slowly builds a life without you in it. When she says she needs space, what she's really saying is, I'm pulling back to see how life feels without you. It starts small. She spends more time alone. She insists on solo weekends, girls' nights, new hobbies that don't involve you. She used to share every detail of her day. Now you get vague headlines. It was fine. Nothing special. Just tired. You tell yourself it's temporary, that she'll come back warmer once she rests. But the warmth doesn't return. The calls get shorter, the texts fewer. Her presence in the room starts to feel like absence with a body attached. The psychology behind this is brutal but simple. Emotional detachment always comes before betrayal. No woman wakes up one morning and decides to cheat. It's a process, and the first step is to test separation. I just need space is a trial balloon. She wants to see if she can emotionally detach from you without consequence. If you panic, she gains power. If you accept it without question, she gains freedom. Either way, she learns something. You are no longer the center of her world. Watch her behavior in this phase. Notice how the space she asks for isn't about rest, it's about removal. She's not just reading alone, she's hiding her screen when you walk in. She's not just needing time, she's staying out later and offering fewer explanations. She's not sharing feelings, she's building walls. And the cruelest part, she'll frame it as self-care, as growth, as something noble. And you, desperate not to seem controlling, might even encourage it. But understand this, the moment she starts needing space from you, she's already filling it with something else. Thoughts of freedom, fantasies of someone new, the intoxicating idea of a different life. That distance is not empty, it's occupied, and by the time you feel it growing, it's already far larger than she admits. Most men miss this because nothing explosive happens. No fights, no betrayals, just a slow, cold drift. But this is the first real betrayal. Not of vows, but of intention. And if you don't catch it here, the next lie will land harder because it won't sound like distance. It will sound like reassurance. And that one is far more dangerous. Lie 2. Nothing's going on. This is the lie that keeps most men asleep. Nothing's going on. 4 words designed to erase every doubt, every instinct, every red flag you've started to feel. You ask why she's distant, why the phone is suddenly always face down, why she's guarding her messages like state secrets. She smiles, shrugs, and repeats it. nothing's going on. And in that moment, most men exhale. They want to believe her. They want the world to go back to normal. But that's exactly what this lie is meant to do. Keep you still while everything shifts under your feet. Here's the psychology. Denial isn't just hiding the truth. It's testing your threshold. If she can convince you that obvious changes mean nothing, she learns she can rewrite reality and you'll follow. She's not just lying to protect herself. She's training you to ignore your own eyes. That's why this phase is so dangerous. It's not just deception, it's conditioning. Watch the patterns closely. Her phone was once on the counter, unlocked, buzzing openly. Now it's glued to her hand or hidden in her pocket, even in the bathroom. She laughs at messages she won't explain. You hear a new name slip into conversations, and when you ask, she rolls her eyes. It's just a coworker, stop being paranoid. The explanations are always vague, always just enough to keep you questioning yourself. And every time you back down, the gap widens. She's building a dual life, and this lie is the firewall between them. To you, everything is fine. To her, the ground is already shifting. She will act normal just long enough to make you doubt the change you feel. She'll cook dinner, send a sweet text, maybe even initiate affection, not out of love, but to cover the tracks she's already laying. And here's the brutal truth. When nothing's going on becomes her go-to answer, everything is going on. It's a smokescreen for secrets, a lullaby for your suspicions. And by the time you realize that, denial has already done its job. It's bought her time. But the next lie isn't about erasing your doubt. It's about weaponizing it. And that's where the real psychological game begins. Lie 3. You're overthinking. This is the lie that flips the entire script. You're overthinking. It sounds harmless, even reasonable. After all, who wants to be the paranoid partner? But this is where the manipulation turns psychological. The purpose of this lie isn't just to deny your suspicions, it's to make you distrust yourself. If nothing's going on is about hiding behavior, your overthinking is about breaking your confidence in your own perception. It's not defense, it's offense. Here's how it plays out. You notice she's texting more, smiling at messages she doesn't explain. You ask calmly what's going on. She sighs, shakes her head, maybe even laughs a little. You're overthinking again. The word again matters. It's meant to suggest a pattern, a flaw in you, a reason not to take yourself seriously. And once that seed is planted, you start second-guessing everything. Maybe you're being dramatic. Maybe you're too sensitive. That's exactly where she wants you, doubting your instincts while she moves in the shadows. The psychology behind this tactic is classic gaslighting. It shifts the spotlight off her actions and onto your reactions. Now you are the problem, not her sudden coldness, not the late nights, not the emotional distance. You. And the more you defend your feelings, the more she reframes them as weakness. You're too jealous. You're too insecure. You're imagining things. These lines are not about truth, they're about control. Pay attention to how subtle the shift becomes. You once trusted your gut, now you're apologizing for having one. You once spoke up, now you stay silent to avoid being called dramatic. And in that silence, she gains room to do as she pleases. That is the real function of this lie. It builds her freedom on the ruins of your self-trust. The details always follow the same pattern. Your questions are met with mockery, your intuition with dismissal, your boundaries with guilt. And by the time you realize what's happening, you're walking on eggshells in a house you used to feel safe in. This isn't overthinking. It's underreacting to a truth that's trying to get your attention. And the most dangerous part, this lie often arrives right before the endgame. The story she's already rehearsing in her head, the one where she's the victim and you're the reason she had to leave. And that final lie, that's the most devastating of them all. Lie 4. I just want what's best for both of us. This is the final lie, the one that sounds mature, noble, even selfless. I just want what's best for both of us. Most men hear those words and freeze. They think it means she's confused, that she's struggling, that there's still hope if they just try harder. But here's the reality. This is not about both of you. This is about her easing her guilt while preparing her exit. It's not a conversation. It's a confession wrapped in compassion. By the time she says this, the decision has already been made in her mind. This isn't a spontaneous thought. It's the end of a long internal process. The emotional detachment began with, "I need space." The deception was protected by, "Nothing's going on." Your reality was weakened by, "You're overthinking." And now, this final statement arrives to justify everything that's about to happen. It's the script she'll use to explain her betrayal to herself, and maybe even to you. The signs are painfully consistent. The future she once described as "we suddenly" becomes "I." "We'll travel next summer" turns into "I want to see the world." "We should buy a place" becomes "I've been thinking about moving." The shared plans vanish, replaced by vague statements about growth, healing, and finding herself. She starts using distance words, space, time, journey, all meant to soften the reality that she's walking away. And here's the psychological twist. This lie isn't designed to fool you. It's designed to make her feel like the good one. If she can convince herself that leaving you is an act of kindness, she doesn't have to face the truth. That she betrayed your trust long before she spoke these words. That she disconnected piece by piece, day by day, while you were still trying to hold everything together. The cruelest part, she'll still act like she cares. She'll say she wants you to be happy, that you deserve the best, that this is about both of you growing. But listen closely. If she truly cared about both of you, she wouldn't have erased you from the picture before you even knew there was a problem. This final lie is not the beginning of a conversation. It's the closing statement of a trial you didn't know you were in. It's meant to end your resistance, dull your anger, make you accept the unacceptable. And by the time you hear it, she's already emotionally gone, rewriting her life without you, justifying the story she's about to tell herself and everyone else. It's the softest line of them all. And yet, it's the most brutal. Because behind it lies the hardest truth. She's not trying to fix anything. She's trying to leave clean.